All right, all right, all right, all right. Greetings and welcome back once again. I pray everybody is doing well. Welcome back to the conversation. This is Amuna. I've had this one queued up for a few days now, but y'all already know. Y'all already know. And I said I was going to pre-record it, but that didn't happen either. So here I am. Here I am about to see if it can let me do what it is that I need to do on the tail of that conversation that we had the other day, the Kyrie Irving, the Hebrew to Negroes conversation, Kanye conversation. I saw someone post on social media about, people not getting upset about, a specific Family Guy episode. And so I'm like, to me, it sounded a little bit about like what aboutism or what about this and what about that. So being who I am, I was like, let me go to this episode, see if I could find it, because all I saw on YouTube was a little clip. And I wanted to see if I could find it and dig a little deeper into this episode. So greetings and welcome to those who have just joined us. And so I actually did find the episode and I just want to talk about it. I think what did I name this thing here? Let me know if you can hear me and everyone could be heard. Black satire with Jewish voices. Now, what was being said, what was being alleged, even in the Dave Chappelle skit, for some people, they were like, "Ooh, Dave Chappelle," it went over some people's heads. Some people was able to vibe with what he was saying. Some people was able to tell that, he low-key sneak this, but he did it in a way that kind of didn't look like a sneak this. So he was kind of unsure of how he was coming at it. And that was the Saturday Night Live delivery that he gave the other day. And so Dave Chappelle's assertion is that there were a lot of people of Jewish heritage who say they're Jewish that are in Hollywood. This is what Chappelle was saying. That's what Kanye is saying. That Kyrie wasn't even saying that, but as Chappelle asserted, Kyrie got caught up into Kanye stuff, right? And when you think about all of the writing, all of the people who are in the rooms, the people who are having the conversations about what would be funny, and the people who are writing the scripts, the people who are doing all of those things, who are those people? Because a lot of times, even like when I went over Amos and Andy here a couple of years ago, Amos and Andy was famously blackface performers in the early 1900s. As it related to the information that they was delivering, the comedy that they were delivering, the skits that they were delivering. They were European for a very, very long time. And if you go back and look at the stereotypic tropes, that were on that show when it came to television, because, for a long time things were radio, and then when it finally came to television, the blackface conversation wasn't as acceptable as it was 10, 20 years earlier. So they had to cast melanated people in those roles. But the people who cemented those roles, who made the buffoonery come before the people, were European. So this is not a new concept. I go over in Angry Black Woman Syndrome Revisited, because this is just kind of what it reminds me of. When on the minstrel shows and the things of that nature, these were the people who were, again, like I said, who were writing these things. This is you through their eyes, whether it be European, whether it be Jewish, whomever is the one who has the pen. Right? Whoever is the one who's writing this down, let me know if I can be heard. I'm giving a little time before I get started, and just a little introduction before I jump into this. So whoever is the one who's behind the scenes, who's writing this down, is the one who gets to write the jokes, or you get to see what they think is funny, right? This is also going to be a little bit of sponsored conversation. I'm going to put the link in the box, because I am running an experiment on this new, and I need your help. Okay, I'm like 62% there on this new site that I saw across. You spend so much time on social media, might as well make money. And so there's a lot of people who are influencers and they do it in that way. And maybe some, I'm on social media and I try not to be one who's just hawking anything, because you have to be socially conscious, right? And but this one, I'm running a test. I want to see if it's valid. I'm more than halfway through the process, and essentially we want to see if they pay out, when they pay out, and how they pay out. And once it is, or if it is, any which way, I'll give the feedback. So I also wrote an article about it. I'll give you that link as well. But definitely, we're going to come back and show you all of that. So without further ado, the Family Guy episode, right? And share this link again. Let me go over to where's this big truck going? I'm going to try not to get distracted today, people. Let me go over to the Facebook side, because sometimes the Facebook people say, how come you're ignoring me? It's not that I'm ignoring you. It's that StreamYard doesn't allow you to, it allows you to see Facebook comments, but it doesn't, you don't necessarily get to reply back to Facebook. You have to reply over here on YouTube. Anyway. So this is the Family Guy episode. It is season 4, episode 27. So I'm gonna put this in the box, and I have Hulu. I know I was paying Hulu for a reason, for a reason as this. So it is season 4. I'm gonna take my time with this. Episode 27. Hey, what's going on, Ashanti? Yeah, Family Guy has Jewish humor and satire a lot, right? But we're gonna see. We're going to see. I know I didn't give everybody enough time, and I know a lot of people watch it on the replay. It just is what it is at this point, people. So I got to get in where I fit in. So it was season 4, episode 27. It's available on Hulu if you have it. If not, it's available other places as well. Okay. There was another episode in season 3, episode 14, when I don't even know the guy's name. This guy here, this heavyset round European guy here, he found out that he had a Black family member. I think I'm going to go over that after this, if time permits, right? Anyway, let me know if you can hear me, Ashanti. Let me know if you can hear me, and then I proceed. Or better yet, let me know if you can hear the audio on this.
Reminds me of another story. It's distracting. This is the story of my ancestor, Nate Griffin. Of course, Nate Griffin was his slave name. His real name was Richard Bachman. And this...
Okay. Can you hear that? Can you hear the cartoon talking? Let me know if you can hear the cartoon talking. If not, then I'm going to have to slow it down even more, because I'm going to have to play it and then narrate it. So while I'm waiting to see if you can hear, yeah, I hear it. Cool. But this is even better. So yeah, so he's saying what happened is, in the storyline, they thought a burglar broke in, and they was trying to feed their daughter to the burglar, and now they're in the secret room so that they don't get accosted. And essentially he thinks he's going to die slow, so he has the family members in the room, and now he's trying to tell them his family history. And so he's telling them that they actually have a great grandpappy who was a slave, right? So let's look into this.
Is the story of his roots. It all began in Africa.
And then for those who know, if somebody could just say essentially roots, and of course I'm gonna be stopping it a lot because I don't have any time for the YouTube shenanigans. But so other people will say it will be a swipe at roots, aka the Alex Haley conversation. But anywho,
in the tiny village of Quahog Swana, where he was a proud member of the tribe of Tootie and Blair. Hey, Quag Dingo, how was your date last night?
It was awesome. You never feel as big as you do with a pygmy.
Hey, you guys want to go get a drink?
Wait. We're also talking about this in light of the easy way in which people are offended, even if you mention it, even if you make an inference, even if you just breathe in a certain direction, then you get a label on you of being anti-Semite. You get this letter upon you because you had the nerve to look at, question, inquire about, pull pride, do anything in this direction. So right off the bat, in 2 seconds of the telling of this story, and I'm going to go into some of the writers on this to show that the Torah principle as doing to others as you've had them doing to you is not really present in these type of conversations. And then that would be the argument as to whether or not when somebody is holding certain parties accountable? Is it the entire race, or is it the people who are in certain positions? Because when certain things are said, it's as if you're attacking the entire race, or a group of people, as opposed to the people who are in position, right? It's very weird and very selective, but we'll continue.
Drink at Club 227.
Not today, Joe Mama. I'm going off to find a log to build a drum so I can play the opening part from Hard for Teacher. I'll see you guys later.
Coming up in this half hour, flies on your face. How many is too many?
But first, that orange thing in the sky.
Again, this is satire. That's really usually is looking at Ethiopia, impoverished countries, how much is too much, the poverty, flies on your face. Just very interesting stuff.
And what you can do to please it.
You know, you shouldn't be poking around out here. White men have been spotted nearby, laying traps and forming slow-pitch softball leagues.
Well, whatever makes him happy.
So the monkey, I thought this one was fascinating. The monkey is out here like, yo, be careful, because that's also, if in the narrative of slavery, is that there's words going out that people are coming up missing, right? People are coming up missing, and the monkey is warning him, whoever is writing this joke. The monkey is warning him to be careful, and it's showing the person who is looking at the melanated person is showing what is perceivably the ignorance or the of the melanated person, that you don't see this as a danger, right? So a lot of sometimes narrative from the European perspective is that you asked for it because you weren't more vigilant, right? You allowed for it. You really thought these people were going to come in. And sometimes people are being faulted, even the Native Americans are being faulted for not being as savage as those who they were entertaining, right?
Happy. Live and let live. That's what I say. And I'm sure that's what they say too.
Hello, I'm Cleveland from South Carolina.
Wow, you're a different color than me. Would you like to be equals?
Again, I've yet to laugh yet, you know what I mean? And I like laughing, but I think this is interesting because it is, as some would say, poking fun at someone else's, what others would classify as a Holocaust, someone else's peril, so a nations, because it's more than one nation of people, right? Even to the degree that you're showing them in the slave ships, in the whole of the slave ships, in the very same way. Like, this is very interesting, but the outcry is not there. I was looking up the history of this show. They said it was on for 14 seasons, and the creator of the show, for a while, he wasn't writing on the show. And even he was like, shows have a course, and after they run their course, they should come off the air. And this was what's the guy's name again? I'll tell you his name in a minute, but let me continue.
Hey, Quag Dingo, you want to play I Spy again?
No.
I spy something beige.
Wood.
Yeah!
Hello and welcome to the news at what I suspect is dog.
Now, oh boy, I have to, again, why am I doing this? Because I just find it interesting. Oh boy shared a link. I'm not talking about the person who I'm talking about the Kyrie Irving shared the link to examine this part of history and beyond. And because a speck or a portion or a fragment of that conversation could be deemed anti-Semitic, he was chastised. But this entire episode, so far, we're like 4 minutes in, is going hard at the atrocities and making light of the atrocities. And whose voice is this? This is not the voice of melanated people making fun of their own horror, their own pain, their own real and present dangers that their ancestors face. This is someone else, another demographic, making fun of them, and it displayed before the world to see. Let's continue.
Our top story continues to be, where is this giant canoe heading? But first, let's go to Ollie Williams with the Portside Window Report. Ollie?
I saw a fish!
Thanks, Ollie. And now sleep.
Where is the giant canoe heading? I think you know where this goes. I don't know. I'm not going to be able to play the entire thing because, let me see something here. It just doesn't get better. Okay, let me jump a little bit. So let me jump a little bit to when he gets to the plantation, because this is everything right here. This is as somebody who took many years to study this part of history and to understand how deep the pain goes. And it wasn't to trauma to measure up whose trauma is more, but for somebody who is saying that, or a people group who is saying that their pain runs deep and they still feel it, how then can you make fun of someone else's pain that also runs very deep? It doesn't run one generation deep. It's intergenerational, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 generations deep. How do you, I don't know, make it make sense? Somebody let me know. Hold on. For those who just joined us, welcome to the conversation. We are in here taking in, what's going on? Quadingo, Quadingo, he sure did. Yeah, he did net the man. I can't, man. This thing is everything. For those who just joined us, welcome to the conversation. We're looking at Black satire with Jewish voices, and really going into whether or not what's good for the goose is what's good for the gander, or is there something else going on here? This particular thing that we're looking at is Family Guy. This is season 4, episode 27. I'm going to fast forward so as not to, you understand? But anyway, so they're on the ship and they do the insurrection. It's crazy. If you want to be offended, there's plenty of things over there to offend you about. But now they're going to roll up to the plantation and check this out.
Soon found himself put to work on a southern plantation. It was way down there, where you stop seeing Howard Johnsons and you start seeing Stuckies. Anyway, it was a horrible place where they took away everybody's African names and gave them new names.
What's your name?
Toby with an I, with an accent over the I, and a little line over the O, so you know it's a long vowel sound and not a short one. And sometimes I like to dot the I with a little smiley face or a heart or something. Something to brighten the reader's day.
I asked you what...
Something to brighten the reader's day. Tariq Nasheed, he be doing a lot of stuff. He be into a lot of stuff. But, there's conversations around buck breaking, and in the historical narratives, it's called seasoning, where they season the slave, or the enslaved person, the person who's no longer free, that they've enslaved. They season you in such a way. So this is why I said they were spoofing roots, right? And so they have him trying to call him Toby, and then the Jewish voices, and this is what we're going to go into from here. The Jewish voices are inferring here through their comedy that they liked it. This is a sentiment that I heard echoed oftentimes in reading a lot of these narratives, is to assert that the Black people, they like it. And so someone thought it was funny, as they had all of the men. That's why this was the buck breaking scene. This is all of the men who are gathered around. Let me pull this back a little bit. Hold on. Wait. Right there. If you look behind him, those are men standing there. So this is the buck breaking scene, buck breaking scene. Okay. And the inference here is that he's breaking this buck and he likes it. And they give him this very effeminate voice. They make him, say things that are questionable. Who's Tariq Nasheed? Tariq Nasheed. Not Nasheed. I'm bugging out today. Y'all see with me. He made the film Hidden Colors. Like the video, share the video. Thank everybody for joining us as we continue. Right? So they are not only thinking it or seeing it in their private dinner parties, but they are I thought to myself, it takes a lot to produce an animated film. That means who did the voiceover? Who wrote the treatment? Who did the animation? Who was there this entire time saying, yep, that's funny. Yeah, we should do that. Yeah, we should go with that. We're going to take a look at it. But let's continue just for a little bit longer, and then we're going to go into the who. Let's go back again as they are buck breaking Toby with an I, with a long accent over the I, to try to say that they wanted it. I'm confused.
Place where they took away everybody's African names and gave them new names.
What's your name?
Toby with an I, with an accent over the I, and a little line over the O so you know it's a long vowel sound and not a short one. And sometimes I like to dot the I with a little smiley face or a heart or something. Something to brighten the reader's day.
I asked you what your name was.
Honey, you keep that up. It's whatever you want it to be.
Of course, back then,
Honey, you keep that up, and it's whatever you want it to be, some type of sadomasochistic. He's enjoying it. Again. I've read some of this stuff, and you would be surprised. That's why I said it's not only important to read it from one perspective, it's to read it from all perspectives. If somebody is doing something horrific, they have to, at some place, somewhere in their mind and their heart and their soul, justify it. Lead themselves to believe they're in the right so that they can, or else it's going to create this dissonance, or what they call cognitive dissonance, and you're not going to be able to cope. So in order to cope, you have to tell yourself what you did was right. I did it because this is where the justifications come in, right? So the thought that this buck likes it, he asked for it. You trusted the person. You shouldn't have. You wanted to get beaten, and the more he beat you is the more you liked it. And who is saying this stuff? Before I continue with the video, let's go take a look a little bit at who is saying this stuff. Let me release that screen real quick so that we can break it up. Who is saying this stuff? Let's jump over here real quick. So I took the liberty to look up some of the intro credits on this episode and the show in general, right? So one of the people is this guy right here. So remember the statement that Kanye made, the statement that Dave Chappelle made, the statement that Kyrie didn't even make, okay? He just shared a link. So I guess the statement that Hebrews to Negroes is making somewhat, I guess, I don't know, right? There's a statement that being made, especially for those who are in the entertainment business, that there are a lot of Jewish people that they come into contact with in Hollywood. One of the people on this Family Guy is Matt Weitzman. This is him here. He's an American producer and writer. Somebody is writing this stuff. Some would say filth, because there's a lot of filth in this show. All right. Someone is writing this stuff, and someone is thinking to themselves, it's funny. Someone came to the writing room and said, you know what would be funny? Let them beat Toby. Let spoof Roots. Let them beat Toby. Make Toby homosexual and make him like it. This is what is being said of your pain, your trauma, and everything. Anywho, he's a writer. He's one of the original writers on the show Family Guy. So I'm not making it up. There he is right there. He's at 2010 Comic-Con. That's him right there. Some would say that's funny, but why are you... And it says here, Matt Weitzman was born in Los Angeles, California, and is Jewish. That's one person. So I'm not going to step very long. I just went through their bios just to double check if I'm bugging out or if what the men were asserting in this case were true. So let's go over to the next person. So that's one person, Matt Weitzman. Remember, the name of this is Black Satires with Jewish Voices. So we're looking at the people behind these things that are offensive to melanated people and their atrocities. And yet, you know, seemingly no one is held accountable because I don't know. It's funny. Let's go over here. Next person, David Zuckerman, TV producer. David Zuckerman, American television producer, writer, is best known, original showrunner and executive producer of the animated comedy show Family Guy. So some will say there's many offensive things. That's not what we're talking about. It's in the same way that the film was talking about many things, but the ADL went and picked out one thing. So if the goose is doing it, then the gander is like, okay, wait a minute, let me take a gander. If you went through a 3.5 hour movie or documentary and picked out one thing, then the question is, how are we watching entire episodes that are geared towards offending and exploiting certain people groups, vulnerable people groups, and nothing is being said, or seemingly nothing is being said? Anywho, If we jump down here, he's a native of Danville, California, graduate of the University of California, first wrote for the sitcom Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Okay, we jump down here. That's the name of the guy who originally did the show, Seth MacFarlane, right? He developed another Fox animated series entitled Family Guy. Okay, he subsequently worked on Farland's second series. So when we jump down here, what is he? Zuckerman was born and raised in Danville, California, and is a graduate of Monte Vista High School. He has a degree from University of California, Los Angeles, and he has German Jewish ancestry. So far, some of the lead producers on this show that we are watching, this particular episode, I find it interesting. It's unnamed, right? So far, two of the major people, the main voices are Jewish on these episodes. Let's go ahead and jump into another one, because right now I'm just bringing it out. Like I said, I did this, but I got distracted, y'all. I got distracted. So I said, I have all the tabs. You know when you got like a million tabs open on your screen? That was me. I was like, nah, I gotta come bring this real quick. Okay. Next lead producer or a next lead voice on this show, and then we're gonna go back to it, right? So we did let's go to Alex Borstein. And again, if you watch the opening credits of the particular episode, as well as if you just, it's saying it right here, like I ain't gotta make it up. Here we go. Alex Borstein, or Alexandria, is an American actress, comedian, writer, and producer. She voices Lois Griffin. So the wife, this is the voice of the wife. That means you were there. You're reading the script. Everybody who's having a conversation, everybody who was a part of it, it has to run past them. You don't seem to have a problem with it. Like, you know what? In this episode, we're going to talk about, and then everybody's like, yeah, that's a good thing for us to talk about. Let me jump down here. It says she's the voice of Lois Griffin on the animated comedy television show or series Family Guy. And she even won Primetime Emmy Award for her role. So not only is she on it, she actually won a Primetime Emmy for the role on it. Okay, so you even getting awards. If we jump down here, let me see. Let me make sure I didn't miss it. Where is it, lady? Where we at? All the way down to the bottom. Where we at? Hold on. She was born in Highland Park, Illinois, a city north of Chicago, raised in Deerfield, Illinois. Before her parents moved to California, Borstein has two older brothers. Her parents, Irv and Judy Borstein, are both mental health professionals. Your peoples are mental health professionals. You would know to be making fun of somebody's atrocities that they're still living and dealing with may not be the best thing to do. Anyway, Borstein has stated that she is of Hungarian and Mongolian descent. Borstein is Jewish. So one of the major voices, which is the wife, long-standing on this show, Jewish. Executive producer, Jewish. Hold on. I have more though. But wait, there's more. Matt Weinsman, Jewish. I have another one because we're not done. Y'all know I like sources. Here we go. So again, Black Satire with Jewish voices. What is really going on, and what is the backlash? Why so heavy-handed when the people come out, and when these very voices that you're mocking? Why so heavy-handed when these people come out and say something is not right? Did David A. Goodman already? Let's go over there. Let's go. One of them is, or was a few years ago, the president of the West chapter of the Writers Guild Association. I have to go back and double check which one it is. So not only are they saying, hey, you're doing a good job, this guy was the president of the Writers Guild Association. Are we kidding me? No, we did David Zuckerman. No, where we at? David Goodman. There's a Zuckerman and a Goodman. Let's jump up to the top, shall we? David A. Goodman. Oh, this is exactly, see, I pulled up the right one at the right time. For those who just joined us, I'm going to go to the top to this conversation that we're having right now around Black Satire with Jewish voices, and how the table is not necessarily set on all four legs. It's a little leaning right now, David A. Goodman is an American writer. They keep saying American to throw you off, right? producer and president of the Writers Guild of America West. I don't got no reason to lie. This is not, this is, I didn't write this. He has been a writer for several television series, such as The Golden Girls, his first job, Futurama, where he was also the co-executive producer, and wrote the notable Star Trek parody episode, Jump, 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 Jump. There he goes right there, David A. Goodman. Goodman is a graduate of University of Chicago, where he earned a BA in 1984. He is of Jewish background. He was an executive producer of Family Guy, beginning its 4th season. The episode we're watching is season 4, episode 27, after joining the show as a co-executive producer in season 3. He is known for his nasal voice, which has been the subject of jokes numerous times in Family Guy audio commentaries, particularly by the creator Seth Farland. Blah, blah, blah. He's been on the scene, okay? So far, we have 4 people of Jewish descent on the scene. And you're going to say, well, Muna, why are we talking about this? If you just joined us, I'm going to go back to, I can't do the whole thing, but I'm going to go back to some of the things that these people, these particular people, not all of the Jewish people in Crown Heights and Mill Bay, no. In Graven, no. These particular people of Jewish descent are writing, okay? People tend to do that. Like somebody belongs to somebody from somewhere and then it's everybody. I have one more for you. So far to review, we have David G. Zuckerman, okay? We have David A. Goodman. These are not no small fry people. These are executive producers, writers, voice actors, lead characters at what we, and it's not, melanated people are not just a subject one time in this show. All the time in this show. Matt Wiseman. We have Alex Borstein. Now we have one more that I have up here for you. And it is, I'm going to come check out what y'all saying in 1 second, and then we're going to rewind this tape real quick. We have Ali Adler. Allison Beth Adler is a Canadian American. They keep saying that. I don't know why you keep saying that, but let's continue. Television producer and writer. She is the co-creator of Supergirl and The New Normal, and is also known for her work on Chuck and Family Guy. Who is this? Television producer and writer. The people who are sitting in the writer's room, the people who Dave Chappelle came and said, you know what, it would be funny if X, Y, and Z. You know, I actually saw the other day, not to get off topic, but I saw an old clip of Bernie Mac, and they tried to get one of the cast members to sit on his lap, and Bernie Mac was like, no. It was like somebody was shooting from behind the scenes. He's like, we're not doing that. So there are people who are behind the scenes writing, producing, and putting this stuff out, right? And it's for public consumption. Where is the National Black Caucus? Where is the NAACP? Like somebody else said, where is the outcry? Not just because you're crying, we're crying. No, but because this is very offensive. It's injurious. This is what goes out into the world to show people who melanated people are. And it has been used for centuries to show you how to act. And I can go back through it. Like I said, I've done this before with this angry black woman trope, and it applies for the angry black man. It applies for the lazy, shiftless black. All of these tropes come from media. They have been popularized through media. Cliche, all of these things are coming from a place, and we're looking at their own information showing you this is who was in the writer's room, and this is who thinks this would be funny. Okay, let me. Adler was born in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, to a Jewish family. Her grandfather and father were Holocaust survivors from Romania. Huh? So Ali, at what point were you like, yeah, you know what? I really don't think we should do episode 27. Because as the descendants of somebody whose parents were X, Y, and Z, I could see how that would be problematic. Meanwhile, you know what I mean? I need you to do all these things, brother who shared this link. What I'm going to need you to do is give me your DNA, a hair follicle from your right baby toe. I'm going to need you to blink 2 times in the left, write a 500-word apology. What? What are we doing? What are we doing? For those who just joined us, welcome. I'm not trying to cause no trouble. I'm just trying to say what is really going on uppeth in here. Anywho, for those who just joined us, I'm going to reel back this tape now. So now that I showed you the faces and the names of the people, some anyway, that were in these places writing these type of things, let's go back and take a look at the things in which I'm referring to. And then I'm going to get into this time social, because I need some of y'all to click on this link real quick, because we trying to prove theories around here, y'all. We're trying to prove theories right. As a matter of fact, let me jump into this real quick. Okay, so it started in him claiming that he had a long lost relative who was black, and that's why, you know, he's about to tell you the story. So let me back up a little bit. Oh, a lot of bit. It even took you on. Imagine somebody taking you to the gas chambers of the Holocaust and then making fun in there. What? Okay. I don't know if this is humor. This is interesting humor right here. This is some real interesting humor. But let's continue.
You know, where you stop seeing Howard Johnsons and you start seeing Stuckies. Anyway, it was a horrible place where they took away everybody's African names and gave them new names.
What's your name?
Toby with an I, with an accent over the I, and a little line over the O, so you know it's a long vowel sound and not a short one. And sometimes I like to dot the I with a little smiley face or a heart or something. Something to brighten the reader's day.
I asked you what your name was.
Honey, you keep that up. It's whatever you want it to be.
Of course, back then, the South...
Again, like I said before, for those who just joined us, that's a scene basically about buck breaking, right? This is a scene about buck breaking right here. There was all men standing around. He's talking about his name is whatever you want it to be. And if you keep that up, you know, Toby is on the other side. What is going on? Not only are you... Let me just continue here.
South was a very different place than it is today. A backward place where they didn't believe in science and hated others just for being different. Time has a way of changing a place and its people. Excuse me. Hi. Yeah, is there like a human resources guy we could talk to? I have a work-related grievance.
What?
Well, the quarters are too crowded, the hours are long, and, you know, I don't like to be this guy, but a couple of the overseers have been making racial slurs. And then, all of a sudden, he saw her.
I still haven't laughed yet. I'm gonna have to keep stopping it, like I said. But I guess that's to say that compared to today's space and time, you should be happy. I don't know.
Lois Laura Bush Lynn Cheney Pewterschmidt, the plantation owner's daughter. Of course, ordinarily black guys aren't attracted to white women, but she was something different. As a poet might say, she was the kind of woman you just want to have sex with over and over. With the kind of breasts you just want to push together so she looks like a cross-eyed torso. He knew...
Wait a minute. So now they're touching many things. Again, whose voice is this? Jewish voices and black satire. Now he's going into the breed mixing, you know, the crossing of the boundaries of the slave guy and the European woman, and how it is that, you know, he becomes this seemingly like a lot of people are doing ancestry today, and some white people are like, oh, I'm 1.2% Nigerian. So I guess that this is where they thought it would be a funny episode, not sure. But anywho, he's fantasizing and ogling the body of the European, the untouchable European woman. Let's continue.
He had to have her.
Someone there?
Lois!
Who are you?
Hi, I'm Nate Griffin. I work against my will for your dad.
Oh, yeah?
I work against. Listen to how you sanitize. There's a concern that the institution of slavery with the McMillan textbooks and all of these things is being erased, right? The thought of it is being erased. The brutality of it is being erased, and it's being sanitized. So we may look at this and some people may be like, it's harmless. No, it's the sanitization of it. And it's not just happening in these spaces, it's happening in school systems where the children are going home and the parents are like, what is this? So where I work against my will, a more sanitized, cleaner version of saying a slave, right? But let's continue.
Huh? Well, what do you do?
Well, let's just say I know my way around a hoe. And from the moment that
Let's just say I know my way around a hole. Because if we can remember correctly, oftentimes the European woman who bound herself to the man, the melanated man, the enslaved man, or even if he was free, she kind of gave up her status in society, right? She became a Negro by proxy. They would call her Negro lover, but they wouldn't say it in such a nice manner. You understand? And she would lose her status to a certain degree, sometimes become disowned or whatever the case may be, depending on who the family member is. Conversely, oh, hold on. This thing is sorry. Conversely, the European man who does the same, he gets to quietly put that offspring aside, or just bring it into the house and let the offspring work for him and pretend that he don't know that that's his offspring. But let's continue.
piece of off-color blue comedy was uttered, their lives were changed forever. You want to do it?
You bet your sweet black ass I do.
So for the next 15 years, they raised a family in...
You bet your sweet black blink I do. There was a first, that movie, Sweetback Baby, whatever, from the Mario. I think I went over that one here. So again, the hypersexualization of the melanated man's body. A lot of the European, not all, but there was a lot of European women, even then, who fantasized about being with the black man sexually. You understand what I'm saying? And so this is what they're exploring. They're exploring so many things. Again, but whose voice is talking here? And if you can talk, my question is, were you there? And some people don't understand that there were many Jewish families, slaveholding families, and families who were very present and in the forefront during slavery. I don't know what history books we read in, or why people would be like, that's anti-Semitic, when historically it's a historical fact. It's a historical fact. That's another conversation for another day, but I'll continue.
secrecy.
Supper's ready. Come and get it, kids.
You know the best part about being half black and half white? When I grow up, I'll be accepted by everybody.
Aha!
Daddy!
Just as I thought. Lois, how in God's name could you embarrass the family like this?
Whoa, 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 sitting right here.
Daddy, you're the embarrassment. Nate and I love each other.
Tell it to the authorities, because you're all going to jail. Run!
And so they set off on their escape to the north. Luckily, they were helped by Nate's good friend Al Cowries,
All right,
who showed up on his first...
to continue to watch that. Let me drop the screen. That was fair use, everybody out there in YouTube land. That was fair use because we wanted to illustrate what's going on, and that's not the only thing that's going on that show. It's crazy over there. Among other things, I'm quite sure in other places with other cartoons. But again, I showed that there were a number of lead voices, decision makers, let's say, on these shows that are okaying this type of information, this type of behavior. And to say that one is not even able to look back historically, not in this way, not mocking, not ill-spirited, not being mean, but to look back historically and say, okay, this and this and this happened. But on the other hand, one person can't do that if you're of a certain demographic. But what you can do is tell someone else's history, mock, chide, deride them, make fun of them, and then put it up and and then monetize it. This is why Kanye say traumatize and monetize. That's exactly what's going on. You traumatize the people and then you monetize the people. And this show has run for how many years? How many episodes? How many millions of dollars? Anyway, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. That is what I have been holding on to for a few days now since I did the last video. And I wanted to just share that. And you guys let me know your thoughts. Again, this was not in an effort to be, quote, any anti-anything, but to just be pro-truth. Is this what's going on? Has this been what's going on? Let me look at the time how long Family Guy has run. Hold on. How many years? How many I thought when we were younger that Bart Simpson was, cutting edge. But right now, these shows are off the chain. Years did Family Guy. Let me see here. From 1995 to 2003. Wait, let me make sure. Let me see. No. That's not right. That's not correct. What? To 02. They said 3 seasons. No, it had 4 seasons because we see. Let me go see how many seasons this thing have. Somebody lied to me on the internet. Hold on, let me go back. Hold up, peoples. I got it right here. Let's see how many seasons it has here. What are they talking about? This thing says 21 seasons. 21. That's how many I see here. 21 seasons. My goody goodness. Let me see if I see the one. I'll probably go. No, there's one where he thinks that he is black, right? And he has melanated ancestry. And then he gets reparations. This is when they're mocking. I said, I know the ADOS community probably didn't see this because he's mocking. Here it is. He's mocking reparations. So he goes to this meeting. He starts going to all of these places where melanated people are. So they're mocking the idea of reparations, right? And he's going to all of these places where melanated people are. And out of everybody, he gets reparations, but he gets reparations from his father's, his wife's, let me go back here. He gets reparations from his wife's father because they found out that his wife's father owned him during slavery. Crazy. And that episode is I'm not going to go over it, but that's episode, season 3, episode 14. So definitely check that out as well. They explore a lot of things in here. But again, did I prove my point? I think I did. Black Science with Jewish voices. I'm going to drop the link. But before I do, I'm going to drop the link. Then come read these comments and go over this thing. And then we going boogie. Okay, let me see what you guys were saying. Judith says she didn't know they was that racist. I don't know who said what about that episode, but that episode is crazy. You shared. Thanks for sharing the episode. If you guys are enjoying it and you think this will start a conversation, let me know. Go ahead and share it, and then, we let it do what it does. Ashanti said we have to bring this to national attention through connected person to politics. There to be an uproar. Who can report this to? I mean, it's really... I'm gonna say at this point, I don't know. I'm gonna say at this point, I don't know. I sent the video to Rabbi saying we like and need to be. All right. The episode needs to be seen. They probably did see it. Here is the thing. There's something else at play here. You know what I mean? There's definitely something. Judah says it was that episode that made you stop watching it. They had a scene where the black guy is, what's going on? Eating him and his children. Wow, no, I'm not one who usually watch Family Guy, but again, I saw somebody post a short clip on there, so I said, let me go back and do a little research. Sometimes when we watching shows, the credits are just going up. But really, if you look at the names and then look at the names behind the people behind them, like I said, the major people who are making these decisions are people of Jewish descent or ancestry. So then the question is, was Kanye lying? Was I wouldn't even say Kyrie Irving lying because he really didn't say anything. You know what I mean? But are the people, or was Dave Chappelle lying? There's a lot of people who were like, oh, Dave Chappelle should be for what he did on Saturday Night Live. I think he was very, I would say, crafty. He crafted his response in such a way that it gave him enough time to say what he needed to say. And because Dave Chappelle is very observant in nature, and he's very, I don't know, as a comedian, he's not a regular comedian, right? He was able to deliver it in such a way that left you like, did he come for me or didn't he come for me? I don't know. He came for them. He came for them, but he came for them in a way to show that he already went up against the system. And for whatever reason, he feels as though he needs to play the game to the degree that he's comfortable in playing it. And so when you look back at the opening credits, you see him reading a little short fake apology and then telling Kanye, you see, Kanye, that's how you buy time. Right? Because we have to remember he already bucked the system. And this is an example of oftentimes during the narrative of slavery, what happened was there would be many people who would think of escaping the plantation, right? And not so much as roots, in the roots where, they cut your foot off and things of that nature. But psychologically, there are many people who thought about it. There are fewer who actually went about planning it, because to come off the plantation and stay off the plantation is not an easy feat. To get off the plantation and to stay off the plantation is not an easy feat. There were habitual slaves in narratives that I've come across that ran away a lot of times, really depending on who your master was. And depending on all of the enslaved peoples who were still on the plantation, they would have to kind of sneak food out to you after dark. Because either the master beat you too much or treat you too bad or whatever he did. So you decided you was going to run away, but you wasn't prepared. So you in the tree up the block around the corner and you waiting for nighttime to come back some food. So people say, when Black people start a business, people don't support. Some of that is epigenetic, because the understanding is what other people are able to do freely, you may not historically have been so successful at, right? So if we broaden the scope a little bit, and back to the conversation, Chappelle he tried to buck the system and he saw what they did to him. And so coming back around, I think he's playing it a little bit safer these days, and that may be like what we're seeing. So with that, I put the link. Did I put the link in the box? No, I did not. Yes, I did. I put the link in the box, and now we're gonna jump over here right quick. That's the link if you have somethings to say. If not, I'm gonna go ahead and wait. Now, this show has been brought to you by all right, it's always the Yummy Cottage, okay, peoples. But I wanted to show something real quick because I came across this thing and I want to see if it's true. I like testing theories. And seeing if it's true or if it's not true. And for some time, I have been trying to find a way to make gainful revenue from home. And based on my YouTube track record, you can see that I'm not necessarily willing to just do anything to make money online. I know, shout out to Ella. You could get into controversy. I have seen people come and go on YouTube. I've been on YouTube a very long time. I'm not really, because I know that you have to consciously create. If you do not consciously create, what happens is all of the things that you created will return onto you on some time. So there's some people who came onto YouTube or social media and they showed them behind and they got BBLs and they exploited their families and, they started whatever they did, and it's not sustainable, because usually when you're doing things like that, you're not your authentic self. You're doing it for likes and views, and it's not sustainable, and that's counterproductive, because I already did my soul work first and I already realized that's a dead end. There's a brother I used to go to high school with, and he, everybody went one way first and I chose to go another, and he looked at me and was like, wow, you did the work first. And it's difficult because I wasn't able to be where many think I should be, or where I think I should have been had I had gone the other route first, right? But there are some people who just, I don't know, maybe I like doing things difficult. I'm getting off track. Let me jump over here and share this thing real quick. My point being, if you have to do something that's going to compromise you in a way that's going to violate your own consciousness, don't do it. Because just like Kanye, he had $1 billion. He couldn't buy back his mama. Now he came out in recent times talking about his mother was sacrificed. I wanted to say, I'll talk about that in a minute. I'm going to come back and talk about that one in a minute. But before I do so, let me go over here. I'm going to come back and talk about, because to say your mother was sacrificed, the question is, who did it? Who sacrificed her? That's not how this stuff works. That's not how this stuff works. But I'm going to come back and talk about it real quick. But before I do, and if you're interested to see if it works, if you on your downtime play, games on social media or whatever the case. I remember doing the Farmville thing. I never got into it, but this one seemingly compensates you. And I'm trying to see whether or not they actually do pay out. So let me make sure everything's on up and up. All right, boom. I know I just went on a little sideways thing just now. What am I showing you here? Wrong one. If you have to do it, he said he's the same one. What's going on? He's the same one who said he sold his soul for a deal in a Happy Meal or something of this nature. So how do we go down the road and then pretend that you're not the one who gave your consent? You gave your consent. So essentially the name of this is, and again, I'm in testing mode. I like to tell people this because I'm doing one side of it, which seemingly is working, but I want to see whether or not this particular thing pays out. And they give you a bit of a obstacle course to go through to determine whether or not you've done what you need to do for it to pay out. Now, if it pays out, then I'm gonna ring the alarm, and you sit home, you do what you need to do, and you come through and you get paid out. You understand? But this is some little side money, a little candy money, a little juice money, whatever the case may be. The name of the thing is Time Social. It says when you sign up for Time Social, you become part of the community of millions of individuals who choose to maximize their time by competing offers in return for cash, referring friends, and posting on your social media. So that's the simplicity of it. You refer. This is what I'm doing here. I'm referring friends, my Facebook, YouTube friends. Click the link. Check it out for yourself. The link is going to make sure that I'm able to level up to do what I need to do, so that I could cash out and see if it works. And once you cash out one, it doesn't stop there. You could continue. And again, they allow you to receive it through PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, or Zelle. Okay. So you can look at more about it. I actually wrote an article because I thought this was interesting. They have guidelines. You have, they're saying payment proofs, but again, at this point, seeing is believing. So I don't let all the numbers get me excited. I really just want to see the validity of it. So far, I started this week. I'm about 62% through the process. It's not just linear. You can't just like post on social media. You kind of have to do the things that they're asking you to do. Like, and again, it's going through the App Store, so it's not something that's not what's the word I'm looking for, safe to download on your phone, because you're going through the App Store to get it. And a lot of these games I've seen before. They have things like download a TikTok. Yeah, Judah is on it as well. Judah says, oh, go ahead now, Judah signed up, and Judah says, yeah, you earned up $300. Cashing out the first time. Yes, Kenny says, Judah is also on it. Cashing out the first time is a little more difficult because they have all of these requirements. And the requirements, they say, is so that you don't promote fraud or fraudulent activity, right? So that fraudulent activity doesn't run rife, or people don't make fake accounts and it's not really real. They're saying that the app developers, which I think is a true thing, that apps need to be run. They usually run in beta, or they run so that people can test it out and see what's going on. Now, according to this company, they are the ones that are getting the people to move through this app process. And this is why this is supposed to be lending to their credibility. I just want to get through the process to see whether or not it's valid. And then I'll come back and tell the people that it is what it is. You understand? So that's the link right there. Judah is also on it, so Judah can share as well. I advise you, Judah, do a video, or even I did it in a way because, again, I cannot swear a surety for them because I have not completed the process. I'm that type of person where I have to be able to confirm or deny. So the way I'm doing it is a beta test, because that's exactly what it is. If I did all of the things that you told me to do, will this be productive, right? Will it be successful? And so that's kind of how I approached it, so that you're not out here just soiling up your good reputation. You know what I mean? But so far, so good. I mean, you don't necessarily have to do the YouTube video. What you got to do is you can do one on Facebook. Do one on Facebook. And I said I'm just going to coach people through how I've been doing it thus far. Do one on Facebook, a reel or an actual post, and then just let people know that you're trying something new and you want to see how it works, and give the referral link to a family or friend so that they can also sign up, because I think you need up to 5 referrals, right? So you want to share it to some people that you know, and then ask them to help you get to where you want to see whether or not it's valid. Because once it's valid, people be on their phones anyway. You know what I mean? Right. Do the reel, do the Facebook. What I've done is just I'll do one video and then I'll cross promote it. And then you share the link. And if you need help, Judah, just hit me up in the inbox. But you share the link with Time Social that you've done it, and then they will credit you for that. Right. So they pay out, I think, $40 for a Facebook post, $90-something for a TikTok post, $30-something for Instagram post. But they tripping. They said $10 for a Twitter post. They tripping. Oh yeah, and a YouTube post. So even here on YouTube, you can just make a YouTube short, make it the same video, and then just cross promote it, get the link, drop it in the box on the Time Social side, and they will credit you for having done so. And so that's how you get your certain things that you need, social media, It takes time. It's not going to be like an overnight, I just got rich. But definitely, it'll pay some of this Biden gas money, though. I bet you that it'll pay some of this gas money. So with that said, I want to thank everybody for bearing with this commercial here. I hope to see you guys on the Time Social side. Just a few brave souls. A few brave souls is all we need. And with that said, any questions or comments, feel free to share at this time. For those who joined us, you missed the conversation, you're going to have to go back to the beginning. The name of this was Black Satire with Jewish Voices. And we just looked at how the Black struggle, it has been objectified and continues to be objectified in the eyes of the people, made fun at, poked at, let me see. I mean, they gave the European man reparations, and then he spent it. Wait, that's not all. He spent it tricking out his living room or something like that. And then the wife was like, you spent the reparations money to do this foolishness? And then he had to go down to the melanated people and told them that he was a bad Black man. It was crazy. But anyway, if you don't know, check those Family Guys out, and then let me know in the box below. With that said, I'm going to go roll on out of here now. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and everybody have a blessed day.